Hey, happy Friday, everybody, and welcome to another Chamber Check-In episode from Idaho's only five-star accredited chamber. And today we get to feature Boise Pest Control, and we have service manager, owner, founder with us today, Jeff Evans. Hi, Jeff.
Hey, how's it going? All the above. You name it, that's what I do. So, as an entrepreneur, you have to wear all the hats.
Yeah.
And it's amazing to be a business owner, and it's even better to be in the Treasure Valley. And we're excited to do business with the people here. And we always say just a funny thing about locals in the Treasure Valley. I've done business in other cities, other states. And we would run into people that, 100, if you do 100 jobs, one of the homeowners would be nice and 99 would be really hard to do business with. In the Treasure Valley, it's the opposite. 99% of the people are just a dream. They're amazing. And then you'll get one that's a little hard, and you do whatever you can do to make them happy. But the Treasure Valley, it's amazing. We're so excited to do business here and happy to live here. Happy to call Idaho home.
Awesome, Jeff. I'm glad you mentioned that because there is something about the Boise nice. And
Yep.
obviously, they're going to be nice to you. You're coming in to take care of their pest issue.
Yeah, we're kind of like a fire department.
Right.
People call us because they need us to put out a fire.
Right.
But it's like a bed bug fire. Not everyone knows all the creepy fires, that we have to put out. Cockroaches, we have all the above. And you don't think of like rats. You think of New York or Seattle has a problem.
Right,
you could name big cities. But yeah, we're a small little city. Boise's a small little city that's not going to be small that much longer. And we're getting some bigger city problems in our small community. So.
Well, I look forward to hearing a little bit more about what this Treasure Valley has as far as pests and what types of services you offer. But these chamber check-ins, Jeff, are really great ways to learn about our chamber member businesses, their product services, and most importantly, the people. And so, Jeff, I'd love to help share a little bit about you and your background that led you to become an entrepreneur. And then tell us why did you get into the pest control industry?
Yeah, of course. So I've had family in Idaho for a long, long time, but I am originally from Las Vegas, Nevada, and I did pest control during college in Las Vegas. And so I got to see all the above there. And you want to be careful going to Las Vegas. There's always $49 hotel rooms, right? And they always will have a higher risk of having surprises. Okay. And so originally from Las Vegas, Nevada, moved up here after, my wife her family lived in the Treasure Valley longer than I have. And usually when discussing where you're going to live, your wife wins. Yep. And so she decided, and I'm thankful for it, we decided to start our roots, put down roots here in the Treasure Valley. And so with my pest control background, and my background in college was biology, health science biology. And so instead of doing pest control in Las Vegas, we do it here. And my experience in the bigger city of Las Vegas, of course, we don't have scorpions here. Though one time, Avamore, all the new places that they're building houses, we found one scorpion in a sticky trap in a garage in Avamore. And it's kind of drier, higher elevation. And so never say never. We always find people ask, is it possible if ... can we have this? And it's unlikely, but yeah. So from Las Vegas, glad to be here. And yeah, doing pest control in the beautiful Treasure Valley.
Okay, that's a great story. And I love how you took what you were doing in college and made a career out of it and started a business. That's taking a leap there. And then
leap of faith. Yeah.
And then having that expertise in biology as well, having that pedigree, I guess, for lack of a better term, you're really more knowledgeable about these insects and stuff that you're serving as well. So So I think that's really cool. I wanted to ask you a question. The pest control industry as a nation.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about what type of industry is that? Like, I just have no idea.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So there's a few things we can talk about. Pesticides it's a very unpopular word. And more, there's a focus on protecting real estate, meaning like structures, buildings, and properties. And there's a shift to keep it away from food products, gardens. So if you eat it, you don't want to spray it, and there's organic options. So we try to tell customers, like, for example, the Instagram page of the city of Boise made a posting about they are excited that they're using less pesticides in their on their grounds. And I think that's a great thing to celebrate, because you want to manage, there should be balance in everything. And so we focus in what we call general pest control and protecting structures. But the whole nationwide, there's different categories of ornamental, meaning like landscape pest control, structural pest control, like general pest control, what we do, and termite control. But as a whole, it's about a $26 billion industry.
Wow.
And it keeps growing, but it's always adapting. And I think that would include agricultural pest control, which is a completely different side of things. And but even like technology, there will be a time where technology is getting so much better every year that the organic products, we won't have to worry about what we spray, because certain things are advancing so well. Like organic products, they weren't very good 10 years ago. Now they're great. And so that's an option now. And so, yeah, it's a $26 billion industry.
Wow.
And it keeps growing every year, and it's going to keep growing, and it's going to have to adapt a lot, but it's a big part of the economy to keep mosquitoes away, keep termites away from your home, stop eating your house, keep nasty rats and mice out of crawl spaces. So yeah, we cover a lot of bases.
And for Boise Pest Control, you'd mentioned kind of the vertical that you're in. Tell us a little bit about your services and products that you offer.
Yes. So our products are very specific. So our services, the house is like the star of the show, we often say. Over the phone, when someone calls, we ask them how big their home is, and not necessarily their property. And so we do one-time treatments. One of the few companies that do one-time treatments. Well, I would correct that. I think half of the companies out there stay away from one-time treatments. And we're one that do, and then we do annual programs, and we do specific treatments for ants. Kind of a boring, a fun fact: ants are our number one service request.
Yeah,
because ants are everywhere. We do ant services, wasp services, tick and flea services, especially if you live near the foothills. The North End is having a problem right now with ticks and fleas.
Found one on my puppy the other day.
Yeah, or if you just go in the foothills for a walk, you're more likely, in my opinion, no, I'd say it's fact, to run into a tick or flea than a rattlesnake. Mm-hmm. And so you'll bring it back to your yard, and then they just breed and feed on your property. And if you don't have a maintenance plan in place, then they just proliferate and explode, and you have a lot of little friends. So
ants, bees.
Bees, wasps, yellow jackets, hornets.
Wasps.
Bees, we get a lot of phone calls for bees, and usually that's a general term of something yellow that's flying.
Yeah.
If it makes honey, and if it's a great pollinator, it's our friend.
Yeah.
And so we call Treasure Valley Bee Rescue, which is a local, I believe, local nonprofit, if not just local business, that will capture them for free. I guess that's why I feel like he's nonprofit, but maybe he's not. he can correct us in the comments below. Yeah. But there's several great local companies that will pick up bees for free. But yeah, fleas, ticks, wasps, yellow jackets, rats now, mice, squirrels. We really don't do. There's a side of things where you capture them and don't exterminate them. Like a squirrel, you capture, catch, and release.
Yeah.
And that's usually a wildlife company, which isn't really us, or skunks. We get those phone calls. We don't do those. So yeah, I could give you a big list that would probably bore you to death, but we do almost everything pest wise. If we don't do it, we could refer you to someone else if it's a catch and release type situation. So,
okay. How long have you been in business?
So we've been in business since 2016, 2017. Okay. So pretty close to 7 years.
Wow.
And I was a one-man band for a while. And I call one-man bands boutique pest control companies.
Right.
And a lot of the boutique companies exist for a short time. You either get burnt out really easy or you decide to grow. And I guess we're unique. We don't do door-to-door sales.
Right.
So you're welcome, Treasure Valley. You're welcome for us not knocking on your door. And there have been times where I have done door-to-door. I did it for 2 weeks when we first started. And I don't rule it out, but for a common rule, it's just not the best way to, well, some people are successful at it, but we just don't go down that path, I guess. Google marketing is easier, I guess, for us. And I guess, and what was your original question? Because I'm just going on a tangent. I'll talk about.
I love it. No, yeah. I wanted to know a little bit about how long you've been in business, and then what territory do you serve? Are you all over the Treasure Valley, or do you go to Mountain Home? Tell us about that.
Pretty much all Treasure Valley, Star, Meridian, Eagle, Cuna, Middleton. We do Mountain Home. We usually don't do.
Okay.
However, like we've done McCall for bed bug jobs. Okay. And so we kind of stop everything for emergency things related to emergency calls relating to bed bugs. And those keep us busy. So generally speaking, it's just the Treasure Valley, the immediate Treasure Valley.
Awesome. Well, who's behind you there? I see a critter in the background. Tell us a little bit about this critter.
Yeah. So behind me, we have who we have named Reggie. So I would say the past 6 months of this year, we've had 10 or 11 rat jobs. And if you ask a lot of locals that have been here for a while, they'll say that we don't have rats in the valley. Though there's a bushy-tailed rat that has a bushy tail, kind of similar to a squirrel, that is native to Idaho, but we just wouldn't have run-ins with rats. Well, we've run into Norway rats, which are the big ground-dwelling rats. We've ran into one roof rat, which will live in palm trees in Las Vegas or somewhere high on your roof and chew the higher up areas in alcoves of your home like a squirrel would. So we have seen 3 different types of rats in the valley. Wow. And as customers will always ask, how in the world, like why all of a sudden do we have rats? It's usually storage units will have little rodent visitors. They get into your boxes and then you move from out of state to the Treasure Valley and you bring whatever friend, whatever critter in your box to your new home. And so we see a lot of out of state move-ins all along the river, the north section of the valley that we call the river corridor. So if you live within a mile of the river, we notice that it's a lot of out-of-state move-ins. The real estate's more expensive, and the animals want to be, in the fancy neighborhoods. And so like Star, we've had rats. Eagle, we've had rats. Garden City, we've had rats. And really, I need to make a blog post of like a heat map.
Oh my God.
Maps, ants, like a heat map for ants. It's all over the valley. Rats, it would be more by the river.
Okay. Interesting.
And so, yeah. So that's Reggie. He's going to be in the 4th of July, Boise 4th of July parade. It's a very thick, hot, sweaty costume that we've never really worn outside yet, but he kind of looks like Bigfoot. He has so much fur. But we're trying to educate customers to not like store dog food in your garage, or be very cautious if you feed birds outside. Like pear trees and apple trees, you shouldn't plant in southeast Boise because it will attract voles, mice, and rats. And they just love fruit trees. Yeah. So certain things will soon have a very informative blog post that you can find at boisepestcontrol.com. So yeah, that's Reggie, and he's going to teach people about rats.
That's awesome, Jeff. I've really enjoyed the time that I've had with you today, and our past phone calls, and prior to going live, our conversation. And I would say anybody that's looking at some ants in their house, give Jeff a call. I have your number scrolling on the bottom of the screen, and your website for that blog. I think that would be really cool to get some more information. Hey, yeah. Is there anything else you'd like to educate the public on while I have you?
We love the Boise Chamber of Commerce. We love the Treasure Valley. We're excited to be a part of the community. And if we can't help you with a problem, we can refer you to someone who can. And we're just excited to call Idaho home. And it's an amazing place.
Awesome, Jeff. Hey, thanks again for your time. Thanks for your investment with the Chamber. I look forward to seeing you at an upcoming event. Have a great weekend. Bye, Reggie.
Thank you.